relaxation on a Friday night. And what we do here is, just kind of hang out. I leave my camera on, my live stream on, and I sit in front of the camera. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, just let me know. Any new fashion things, and. Like, comment, subscribe, make sure you're doing all that good stuff for me. Thank you. We just got done doing a karaoke nights. Karaoke nights 8. And we're just catching to see if there's any, there's like a net. We're just kind of setting up on the side of the road, preaching our shit, just doing whatever we do, Monty does. Do what a Monty does. We're trying to see if we're showing up on the live. Oh, sweet. Hey, what's up? Alright, yeah, we're there. Alright, yeah, we're there. Oh, cool, I got a subscriber. Sweet. Sweet. Hey, what's up? I usually gotta spend about an hour on here before I start getting any flowage. Check out my mint plant. Yes, very good. Transplanted. Action mint. Do it smell? It smell good. It do smell. Just had a cinnamon roll. I can go without eating for a little bit. Cover up that. I'm showing a little too much. Getting a little too comfortable. Hey, what's up, dude? What are you doing? I'm just doing a little R&R. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, just go ahead and put it in the comments. And we'll handle it from there. Hey, what's up? Monty here. I'm just chilling out. What's on YouTube? What's good to watch? Anybody recommend anything fun to watch right now? I'm kind of sifting through, seeing what my subscriptions are, seeing what my subscribers are doing. Okay, my subscriptions, yeah, I already checked those out. What's up? Boo Boo, come here. Come on, be on live stream. This is my dog. This is my dog, Rolly. He's a pup. He's an old doggy. Hey, Boo Boo. Say hey to the camera. You got all kinds of strangers watching you right now from all over the world. Yeah. Hey, Boo Boo. His real name's Rolly. He's named after the gunslinger in Dark Tower series from Stephen King. So yeah, the lead character's name is Roland, and so Rolly's name is Roland, but we call him Rolly. He's got 1,000 different names. We call him all kinds of things, and we always line the couch with a flat sheet because the dogs love being on the couches, and we love the dogs on the couches. It's just easier. You pull them off. You got go on eBay, get a few flat sheets, and then change them out every day. Hell, I would use flat sheets even with humans, you know what I mean? Because, no offense to anyone, but when you're oily and greasy and you sit on this couch and stuff, this is my girlfriend's chair. This is not my chair, obviously. So, yeah, when you sit on this stuff, you get all the oil and grease on it. It's like, when do you really clean a couch? You don't really clean couch fabric that often. But you do clean, you can just pull a flat sheet off, and toss those in. Guys, make sure you're hitting the like, comment, subscribe button. Hit that like button if you guys would, please. Monty Royal, right now this is just an R&R session. What state do you live in? I'm in Ohio. I'm in particularly Toledo, Ohio, in the United States. Thanks for showing up. Woof. Yes, woof as well. Woof back. Oh, you're talking to Rolly. Rolly, you got a woof. You got a digital woof. He appreciates it. He really does. Where are you guys from? It looks like your name's Russian. What's going on? Where you? What part of Russia are you from? I know they have. I don't. I know they get a lot of natural gas up there. If you're ever on Google Earth, you can go on to North Russia and you can just really kind of sporadic. You got to stick to the mainland. There's lots of small islands and all kinds of stuff up there. But if you stick to the mainland and just go along the coast, you'll find all kinds of uh, gas, natural gas refineries. They're pulling the gas out of the earth. It's a society. I don't know what is that. Salt Salt Lake City. Oh, you're thinking it's Utah. No, that's Utah. It's another four letter state in the United States. We live in Ohio, Salt Lakes, but you're talking about Salt Lake City, Utah, I think. Yeah, literally. If you go on a map and look up Salt Lake City, Utah, you'll see a flat. That white bed is actually salt. I've driven through that. I never realized that big white thing in Salt Lake City was actually a salt lake. You don't really think about it until you actually get there, and you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. What's up, guys? No, yeah, yeah, you're good. You're good. I get it. It's like, man, we have Americans here that still don't even have any you know, they probably don't know all the 50 states. I mean, I don't think I could recite them, but I would be familiar with them. I could tell a counterfeit state from a real state. How about that? Yo, what's good, YouTuber? Man, I'm just hanging out. Monty's just kicking it. Monty did a karaoke sesh. We did karaoke nights just a little bit ago, so now we're just hanging out and resting and relaxing on this Saturday night, drinking our green tea, trying to get back into a healthier state, because that's what we're young. When I was young, I'd care less about health. I'm still fighting it, but I'm 36 right now, guys. Monty is 36. My real name's Garrett. I use Monty as a moniker for, working with the public. Um, yeah, Monty's a lot cooler than actually Garrett's really cool, but to get introduced to Garrett, Monty is a better, diplomat and stuff. Nobody has the balls to take him to court. Oh man, my dad burned down. Oh my gosh, your dad is a monster! Apparently, George Washington's name was a village burner or something. He was notorious for burning down villages when of Native Americans when the men were off hunting and the women and children and older people were there. Yeah, so I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've heard. Thank you for that. Hey, thank you for that. Man from another country. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I took speech therapy classes when I was in elementary school because I had a lisp. And when I was talking to my teacher, the speech therapist was there, and so I was able to, so I understand when foreigners communicating with foreigners, there's a very lot of enunciation is not Americans in the English language needs a lot of enunciation, and I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect at it, but I'm all right, So I understand a foreigner's perspective. Team Trump, brother, let's go. You know what? I don't know. Last time Trump was president, they shut down the economy. What, like, doesn't anybody remember that? Like, no one's remembering Trump shutting down the whole economy and everyone getting pretty much paid to not work. And I worked at a grocery store, so I was constantly working. I always work. I worked the whole COVID thing. Uh, but no one. Yeah, that's my interest. It's like Trump. Are you? What's your plan on shutting down the economy again? Are you going to do it, or hopefully we can avoid it? Okay, thanks for that. Hope people are just going to troll you for your reaction to every live stream. It's just cool. I understand there's a lot of sifting with trolls, and that's fine. Like, I don't mind. because there's so many real cool people out in the world that it's not a big deal. You know, you got to take the trolls. There's plenty of hate trolls. Yeah, out in the real world, you interact with trolls all day long. You know, Trump, he's trolling all of us. You know, he's got us all trolled pretty hardcore. It's only for governmental personnel. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm definitely a higher status than that. So, you know, yeah, authorization has been definitely, yeah, authorization has definitely been pre-approved over here, my friend. Yeah, it's the other counterfeits that we need to, you know, right now it's, we have an entire federal government that's counterfeit right now. So we need to realize that once we can get that taken care of and get that ordered up, then we could really fix out the country, you know. You see a lot of the issues going on in the streets, the homeless people, all kinds of chaos, and the only reason that stuff exists is because laws aren't being followed and laws aren't being enforced. And so, really, you have a society now that no one wants to follow the law, but everyone expects the law to be, held up for them when it's time. You know, unfortunately, I've been kind of nailing this point home that the I would go independent, either side, Democratic and Republican. They've both poisoned the ideologies, so that each side is, mindset's poisoned. The best alternative would be an independent, someone that's free thinking, someone that's not bound by party guidelines. It's so ridiculous because there are Republicans that have some ideas that transfer over into Democratic ideas, but they can't even take those stances because it's just like a team think. And so we just need people like someone in the White House that's ready just to, pretty much like figure out all these loopholes. There's a lot of like definitely holes in the system that need to be filled in because there's just a lot of negligence going on. Yeah, all these homeless people there's got to be something to do with them. There's got to be some way to figure it out. And it seems like, no one wants to figure it out. Everyone's kind of avoiding the issue. And, Saddam Hussein, rally bandits, and it's not even bandits. The thing is, these are American people. You got to understand the federal government was set up in a way that the founding fathers knew that gangs would constantly be fighting for territory. Since biology, since the beginning, gang mentality has always been a part of our society. Since the beginning of civilization, the founding fathers understood that the biggest gang in town was always going to rule. But what they did create was a constitution, and what a constitution it's a piece of work, it's literature that shows how a system is going to be ran. A constitution is kind of like our body is a constitution because the liver works with the kidneys and works with the blood and works with the lymphatic fluid and the brain and the synapse. It's a constitution. If we could write it all down, it's been written down in many textbooks, but it's how things are going to be accomplished in that system as a whole. And so the Constitution was created by the founding fathers so that the biggest gang in town would rule, but they would be regulated by the smaller gangs in town. So that's the deal we're working with. If we could, the American people are being split between Democrat and Republican, and they're sick of it because it's just abusive. It's really a trauma-based mind control. And it's gotten to the point where people are belligerent towards either side. And I get it, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's not a game, it's politics, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's just like, it's gotten to the point where, yeah, maybe, it's just like, maybe an independent can change things up because there seems to be a power vacuum, you know what I mean? There's a power vacuum here for people not taking the lead. And instead of doing anything that's like destructive or harmful to people, that we could take that energy and use it for good, you know, because there's always another option. Um, that's the illusion of reality, the matrix that we live in, especially with, people that are in greater control. They usually want to give you option A or B, but there's always an option C. Everything in this world is negotiable, guys. Always remember that. Don't ever, because they want us just paying the face price on everything. And you got to give these guys hell. You know what I mean? And you got to stand up and say when shit's wrong. Um, Good example of that was yesterday, like you said. Not a game. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's not a game, and that's kind of what Republican and Democrat. It's like football. They've turned politics into football games, and that's what it's become. And people need to realize that politics are what establish order between us. Is so we it's here's the deal. It's kind of like traffic being in a road. Yeah, if we want to get off this planet, yeah, we got it. Yeah, exactly. Well, the one of the big things is like marginal rate of return. So that's what we're always looking for. It's like how many dollars do we put into this system and how many can we get out in profit? You know what I mean? We always want to put in the least amount of work and get the most amount out. All right, and so that's easy to do once you change how we kind of look at things. And the main thing is that you can fund people, and one person out of millions of people can make an invention that will pretty much have rates of return that are so much exponentially greater. And that, it's not like, but the thing is access. It's access, and what makes it, so what's another idea is like what makes success? Is it access to education and technology, or is it the will, the scrappiness, and cut them off from everything and make them fucking earn it all from nothing? You know what I mean? It's like, no. The foundation for society is we stand on the shoulders of giants. Our grandparents suffered, so we don't have to suffer the same struggles. So, in the micro sense, why would we want that the same for our kids? Our children and generations after us, we want them to propel off of what we're setting up now. We don't want them to have to reinvent what we've already spent. It's like that's kind of a thing that it seems like the powers that be want us kind of trapped in a loop where we're kind of reinventing the wheel when the wheel's already been invented, you know? So we got to remember that this is the age of synthesis. This is the age of synthesis. And what I mean by that is there's so much knowledge that's been produced and so much research and conclusions to research that's been done, like so many technical papers and stuff. So much information's out in the world now that we the people need to grab that information and start using it for ourselves. And we're doing that. We're doing that, and that's the age we're in, where we're taking this information from the internet and we're synthesizing it in our head and we're mixing it with other information. And so yeah, that's the age we're in. And so we can change the society right now. It's possible, super possible. And just Republican, Democrat, more tax, please. We need to go to Mars now. Yeah, I know, right? Well, yeah, exactly. So the idea is like, I get it. The idea is like, freedom with capitalism, but who knows how free capitalism is? Like Elon Musk, who knows the whole story of what Elon Musk's deal is, who he is, who his handlers are, where exactly he's getting his money, what exactly he's doing with his money. We don't, he's probably taking money and shifting it between a bunch of different companies. I would, like, I would guess, he obviously isn't, like, doesn't respect the SEC and stuff. But the way he looks at the SEC is much different than what I could ever see it as at this point in time right now. I don't know too much about that, but, or in, yeah. intergalactic firefighters or astronauters for short. Astronauts. Yeah. Intergalactic for sure. Yeah, we right yeah, there's this thing called a mesocracy. So it's not a democracy, but a mesocracy. And what that is rule by the middle class. And, with technology we have now, and we should be able to get closer to that. So it's not like a yeah, who knows? The world's just so big and so complex, Uh, I know, yeah, setting policy could change how things are done and, tax rates and stuff. So Monty's mind is not able to really figure out at all in one sitting. But yeah, meritocracy plus a libertarian. Well, true libertarian is very scary, actually. An authentic libertarian, that would pretty much include pirates and a lot of human trafficking, because yeah, and it would cause a lot of territorial, I would suppose territorial warfare with like drug lords and like warlords of territories. That's what I would think. But meritocracy, I'm not really sure exactly what that is. Somalia, yeah, well, who knows what's going on there? It's like, yeah, maybe there. I honestly think there's pretty much like, from what I've heard, is Africa is actually a huge continent. Like the way it's portrayed on maps is much smaller than it really is, and its elevation's very high too. I've heard that Acapulco capitalism. Yeah, I used to be into Bitcoin, and what's his name? One of the guys from Bitcoin. He would do Anarchapulco, um, and he talked about the Shemitah. Yeah, he was a good guy. I watched that guy a bunch. I forgot his name, but he lived in South America, and he was a Canadian business guy that was got his mind opened up after reading G. Edward Griffith, which I was just talking about. G. Edward Griffith. G. Edward Griffith is a researcher, independent researcher. He came up with a concept of well, he didn't come up with it, but he marketed and made a documentary about this stuff called amygdalin. And what it is, it's to fight cancer. I'm not sure if it works, but it's the kernels of a apple seed or the kernels of an apricot seed. So when you get the seed and then you break it open and you chew the really soft part of inside of a seed, apricots and pears, they have the big hard round area. If you get past that, you get into a little itty bitty seed. And those little inner seeds, if you, one of G. Edward Griffith's story, as he did a lot of touring and lectures back in like the 70s and early 80s. And he preached natural alternatives to cancer treatment. And so he has a presentation called B17 amygdalin. And so he claimed that if you would give a gorilla an apricot, he'd break open the seed and he'd tear away the flesh, all the sweet stuff, and get to the middle part of the seed and eat that. And I remember as a kid, and even to this day, sometimes I'll do that. But those inner seeds have amygdalin in it, and there's a fear thing going on, a fear campaign back in the 80s and 70s against it. They said don't eat the insides of the seeds because it has cyanide. And cyanide is one of the elements, or one of the chemicals in the molecule for amygdalin, cancer fighting medicine. Amygdalin is can be synthesized into a man-made chemical called laetrile. And laetrile is a much more refined version of the natural amygdalin within the middle in the seeds. You can actually go to Mexico and get laetrile treatments. I'm not sure how effective they are, but there's clinics out there that would do it. Also, you can go to I'm pretty sure you can do it here, but out in the border of Mexico, you can also get an alternative cancer treatment with heavy doses of vitamin C. And so that's, so yeah, where they have to do it through the intravenously. Anthony Kiedis, one of my favorite musicians from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, he had an autobiography called Scar Tissue. And he was diagnosed with hepatitis C back in the days, back in the 90s. A lot of famous people who had hepatitis back in the day. And he claims, at least in 2006, 2004 to 6, Anthony Kiedis was claiming that he was taking ozone treatments. And what that is, it's oxygen and it's liquid form, O3. And it's illegal in the United States because the FDA claims it's not safe. If you go to Germany, Germany has much more open, relaxed laws with physicians and their clients, their patients. Physicians have more authority on what their patients are allowed to be prescribed, so they have a much broader. Uh, what's wrong with the United States right now is the FDA narrows the band of medicine that we can treat and prescribe to our people. And so what happens is, I'm not in the medical industry. I am a holistic person, though. Um, in the United States, we're caught, and it's pretty much like a Roach Motel medical establishment. Don't get me wrong, I've used it. It's good. It's got some stuff in it, but there's just so much research, and the idea is they can't give you natural. Um, they can't promote holistic medicine because everything's based on patents, and the insurance companies won't insure medicines that aren't patentable. Everything comes down. Ibuprofen is from the bark on trees and stuff. Aspirin, all this stuff's natural. Um, so that's the issue with the United States. We need to broaden our medical scope. Rockefeller did it. Unfortunately, I know it's crazy. Rockefeller did it, but he kind of they threw they're protecting. They're claiming to protect Americans because there used to be a lot of quackery in the United States. People would take advantage of people's ignorance through medical stuff, and they'd sell pretty much like um, they'd sell rat poison and stuff. And or whatever. You could scam so many people out of money with that. But I mean, my point is that I have seen alternative medicine work for people, and I've used alternative treatments and seen very big success. Um, so if you're interested in anti-cancer information or alternative cancer, Edward Griffiths, B17 amygdalin, go down that route. When I was in it, I found MMS, which was Miracle Mineral Solution, and the guy's name was Jim Humble. He pretty much he discovered that he was in this guy Jim Humble. He was kind of an engineer, did a little bit of everything, and he was in the Amazon working for some guy's operation mining gold, or South America, somewhere in South America, working for another guy's operation mining gold. And he, two of the workers, a part of his camp, caught malaria, and it settled in pretty quick. And these guys were laid up in bed and sick. And so Jim Humble discovered that he had water purification tablets, and he thought, in a desperate attempt, that there are days out of civilization in the woods. They drove, they made their way very far out in the middle of nowhere, so it would take them a long time to get into town, and it would throw the whole operation off. Anyways, Jim Humble had water purification kit, And his conclusion was, since the body's like 70% water and this stuff purifies water, why don't we add a concentrated dose and you drink it? Anyway, so the guys drank a concentrated dose of purified water that still had water purification chemicals in it. And what that turns out to be is chlorine, and it's a bleach. So pretty much you can add bleach into water and it will purify. Military does it. Um, Towns, water municipalities will do it as well. They use a chlorine dioxide gas. Chlorine dioxide gas is, it has a stuff called hypochloric acid in it, and it's the same kind of acid that our immune system uses. So bleach, in a way, is kind of like what our immune system uses to oxidize pathogens and viruses. Anyways, so Jim Humble made that discovery. Well, he had the guys drink the purified water, and within an hour or two, they're up eating, laughing, and having a good time after being bedridden. And so Jim did his research, and he found out that pretty much what I just said. The immune system uses a stuff called hypochloric acid, and when the sodium chloride, the bleach, mixes with the stomach acid, the bile, it creates a chlorine dioxide gas. So if you ever drink bleach water, or say for instance go swimming in a chlorinated pool and happen to drink some chlorine bleach water or some chlorine water, that chlorine will mix with the bile in your stomach and create chlorine dioxide gas, and that will actually travel throughout your fingers and hands. It will go throughout your whole body. And what that will do is also oxidize any pathogens within the body as well, or viruses. That's the idea. I'm not saying it works, but I've seen, well, actually, I've seen some people. Like, I can't say that I've seen people, like, get cured for cancer or anything like that, but I can tell you that I've had a buddy named Charlie. He's this older guy, and he had a real bad sore in his chest right here. And he said it itched, but if he scratched it, it would hurt. And it looked kind of like um, it was a big scab. It was about the size of a dime. Wasn't round, but it was shaped, sized of a dime, shaped like a box, kind of. Anyways, so I accompanied Charlie out to his lake house, and I applied some chlorine dioxide solution to his chest. And what that is pretty much bleach mixed with citric acid. And the chlorine dioxide solution, I rubbed it across his chest, and the thing on it just spewed out pus, and pretty much immediately cured him. And he had some brown spots because he's about 80 years old, and it wiped away the brown spots and left healthy pink bright spots where those brown spots were. Anyways, I cured him. He was satisfied, and I don't practice medicine in the legal term. I'm more of a shaman healer. I can't. The federal government's got its throat on everyone's neck. And does not, and the FDA mafia does not allow medicine to be allows only a very narrow scope. And so that's what gets us into public and private. We have a whole, you have a whole life of private, a private life that you can have, and then you can have a public life. And so, unfortunately, tactics of the government right now are to, throughout history, been able, the government is to kind of squash out things in the public, but they kind of sprout up back in the private. You know what I mean? Kind of like before weed was cool. They made it illegal. It helps out a lot of people. Helps out, yeah. Monty loves it. Helps. It just makes life a little better. You know what I mean? I can live without it, but it just makes life so much easier and so much better and so much happier to indulge in. But it's kind of like beer for anyone else, I guess. But without the destructive uh, attributes of it, I suppose. But yeah, before marijuana was cool to smoke, and the government was like, "Oh God, these people need it." It was illegal, and they made a public thing. They made it illegal in the public, but in the private, everyone was, kind of indulging, and people were running it, and people were growing it. And just the closer we get to the more legalization is, the less people care about it. Less enforcement. Oh yeah. Yeah, so yeah, MMS. I've seen some testimonies of it. It's called Miracle Mineral Solution. It was demonized in the. Here's the deal. When the originator of it, Jim Humble, passed away, there's a lot of counterfeit people that kind of took it over. And pretty much that's the thing with a movement, is like all kinds of crazy people can just claim they're in it. And it's like, no one knows what they're doing, but they're claiming they're in it. So people started giving their kids bleach enemas. I don't know where they came up with that idea. Maybe Jim Humble did have a few books on how to, administer the chlorine dioxide solution, but I never read the books. The overall thing that I took away from his I never read the protocol books, but I understood his process and what his idea was. And the idea is that bleach is actually very critical to everyone's health and very necessary, especially with growing populations, or a lot of people that live close to one another. Sanitization is the key, and that's what bleach is. Bleach sanitizes. Without bleach, it's great for the health and everything. All right, let's see what's on YouTube. What's on TV? Anyone still there? You might have talked your ear off. Hey, what's up? I'm chilling, dude. I just got done with a rant, like a huge rant about bleach. It's really good for you.
I cannot. Like, anyways, I've been hearing the Lord saying for the last 3 days, like at night, throughout the day, and all of that stuff. I kept hearing him saying, "Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations," and I'm just like, okay, congratulations. I wrote it down. I didn't know like what this was related to. I didn't want to come out
Hey,
and
was
just be like, congratulations, and people like, for
doing a little
what?
R&R sesh right
So,
now.
I was holding off on this particular word, and then today I heard the Lord say, chosen. You have been chosen, and I'm like, okay. I know He's not talking about like chosen as like one of His, because most of us already know we belong to God. Most of us already know that we are called, and some of us know that we are chosen.
Oh,
Right? He's
yeah.
already said this to us.
Dance
So
party.
again, I had to read it out throughout
What's
the day, do some
up?
names and stuff like that.
That's how we
And
roll
it's
here. We just
relating
said
to
it's a
a
party.
position or something that somebody
It's a
has been
party,
waiting
and
for.
then
Like,
it's
as in,
just
like,
a
out of a
dream.
bunch of people,
Alright,
you
I
are
gotta
going to
stop
be
that.
chosen for something. And this is a congratulations.
We're
Like,
anti-filter
a
here.
congratulatory
Monty is an
great,
anti-filter
as in, like,
guy.
whether it's the job, whether it's the promotion, something that you have been waiting for, you have been chosen out of a group of people for this
Hey,
particular
what's up?
position. Okay? It
Just
could be your
relaxing
home.
right
Like, let's
now.
say you may have saw a house.
Man,
and
I
you
just
wanna
went
buy
on
this
like a
house,
30-minute
and you
tirade
put in an
about
offer, but
politics
there's like
and
5 other
bleach,
offers. You're gonna be the one that's chosen for this, right? So
FDA.
the Lord confirmed that the chosen, congratulations has to do with a congratulatory ring.
Yo, it's a
That
rest and
someone has been
relaxation.
chosen, someone has been picked, and the
We're
reason why
chilling
you
out
have
here in
been
Toledo.
picked is because, like, similar to like a Joseph situation, like,
Monty Royal,
I don't want this to sound bad, but I gotta keep it real. Like,
the king of Ohio. Yep.
there's no competition when it comes to, let's just say that. Like, there's no competition when it comes to, as in, like, if you were to be in a room of 10 people, and, or you walk into a room filled with 10 people, and there's someone there that has to pick someone for a job position, or has to pick someone for a promotion, or has to pick someone for a project, it's like when you walk into that room, it's like people know right away that's the person. That's the one. You know, like, that's the exact way I describe this person. That's the exact way I want this person to look like. It's like you walk into that room, people know exactly who you are, and it's like they know exactly what they're looking for. They know exactly what they're looking. It's like you are exactly what they're looking for. And it's not to say you're better than nobody. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Everyone is unique in their own way. What I'm saying is, when it comes to specific things, there's people that, or there's certain jobs, certain places, certain things that require specific needs and specific requirements for a person, right? Again, this could be for anything. I just know the Lord was confirming that the chosen and the congratulations have to do with a position or something that you have been waiting for, and you are exactly who they are looking for. You are exact. Everything about you is what they were looking for. You meet the criteria. So
Sweet.
you are a perfect match for this position or this thing or whatever. You know?
Stephanie P.
Again,
Smith claims
what
that
that
I am a
becomes
perfect
is a
match for this.
favor.
Oh, maybe. Oh, or whatever I got going on. I'm ready. I'm surprised no one's showing up. At least in my little thing, it says 0 people. That's crazy. You'd think at least like one person would like float in here. I must be segregated. I hope not. Oh no, I'm segregated. Alright. YouTube says it's over. I'm off. Alright, keep it real, guys.